You know that I think that every CEO wants to do a better job should sit down and watch The Shawshank Redemption. Not because running a company has much in common with me getting out of prison after being convicted of a murder you didn't commit, but because the main character, Andy Dufresne, is played with unusual gravitas by Tim Robbins, has a terrific line: get busy living or get busy dying. This is an environment where companies that don't get busy living, meaning take meaningful actions to create value, like smart acquisitions, will at the very least languish and perhaps even get busy dying, Shawshank style. And when companies do try to take control of their own destinies, that tends to be good news for their stocks, for shareholders, something I write about in Get Rich Carefully. All of which explains why I like Thermo Fisher so much. That's TMO for all you home gamers. A company that I think kind of an arms dealer to biotech and big pharma. Thermo Fisher provides laboratory customers with everything they need, and they also have a solid diagnostics division and environmental and food safety business. The big reason I like the stock is because back in April, Thermo Fisher announced it was buying a major competitor, Life Technologies, for $13.6 billion in a deal that closed just last month. This transaction makes Thermo Fisher the largest player in its industry by far. They're now twice as big as the next competitor, and this is just such a fabulous acquisition. The Life deal gives the company a terrific genomics platform, something that could be very important in a world of genetically personalized medicine, which could be where we're going in the not-too-distant future. And it makes them the leader in bioscience and bioprocessing, two areas that help accelerate new drug discovery and production. Now, Thermo Fisher has already rallied 50% more since the Life Technologies acquisition was announced last April. Talk about getting busy living. But the company was doing very well for itself before the deal even closed. And now that it has closed, I think there could still be a lot of upside, especially since the stock still has a price-to-earnings multiple that's lower than its growth rate. Don't take it from me. Let's check in with Marc Casper, the president and CEO of Thermo Fisher Scientific, learn more about how this fabulous company is doing and where it is headed. Mr. Casper, welcome to Mad Money.
Jim, thanks for having me.
Thank you. Have a seat. Boy, I've wanted to have you on for a long time because your company is the quintessential consistent growth company that has fabulous acquisitions. I want to talk about Life, but first, there was an article today in the Wall Street Journal that said the Chinese are getting very serious about environmental food chain issues. And when I read that, I said, well, they can't do it without you.
I agree. You know, we have a huge presence in China, our second largest market today, over $1 billion. And when we look at China, we are very aligned with the government priorities: cleaner air, safer food, and a better healthcare system. So, you know, a very, very exciting opportunity, and we're key in the country.
Well, I mean, I felt that when I saw that, I said, you know, this isn't just some, oh, we're going to have some big China business one day. Your business is big there now.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I was thinking about it. 5 years ago, it was the sixth largest country for us in terms of revenue. Today, it's number 2, fastest growing, and really fantastic prospects.
Oh, that's great. Now, one of the reasons why I like this Life deal so much is we keep hearing about gene sequencing and how the next level of drugs are going to come out. This was an integral acquisition for you guys to go to the next level.
Sure. You know, so we just closed on Life Technologies, and, you know, big transaction, but the reality is you had 2 industry leaders, very complementary, and both companies believed in the benefits of scale. We're excited about the genomics capabilities that it brings to the company. It complements the strengths that we have in protein research.
Now, we do a lot of work. Like, for instance, we had ISIS Pharma this week, and we've done a lot of work, Seattle Genetics, we've got Celgene, all of them. Mm-hmm. They can't go to the next level without your equipment, can they?
No, I mean, we are the key supplier,
right,
the largest supplier by far to biotech and pharmaceutical companies, and they do incredibly important work. If, say, they're trying to cure cancer, find the right drug, you know, they'll use our products to do the scientific discoveries, and it's genomics products that are used for DNA sequencing. It's products used in protein research, things called mass spectrometers, right, very core to those scientific efforts.
Now, you also have what people should understand as being the quintessential razor blade business. You talk about it as consumables. Please explain to people why you've got this kind of a great annuity stream.
Yeah, so today about 25% of our revenue is instrumentation and equipment, but 75% of our revenue is the aftermarket. It's all of the consumables, the chemicals, and the services that we have, which makes the business incredibly predictable, stable, and certainly growing over time.
Well, now let's be sure, because Agilent came out recently and said, you know what, there's some worries about academic funding. These have not been worries for Thermo to date.
Yeah, if you look back, you know, the world of sequestration that we have been living
right
in certainly was a headwind for our industry. But you know, we continue to gain market share, and with a budget deal in the U.S., that's actually a positive. So we actually see the academic and government environment actually improving a little bit and getting back to even a little bit better growth.
And I look at what the European Commission's doing. You have a tailwind developing in Europe.
Yeah, so Europe, you know, we had a good year in 2013 in Europe. The business grew nicely. It actually continued to improve throughout the year. And the stability that we're seeing in Europe is allowing for good growth, and governments are starting to spend more money there as well, and that's a real positive for us.
Now, I think both the synergies are great, because there will be some cost taken out. But you've been a remarkable buyer of your own stock when it gets to be the right time. Do you see that happening again?
Yeah. So if you look back, at history, we have historically deployed about a third of our cash flow in returning it to our shareholders through buybacks and dividends. And over the 2011-12 timeframe, over $1.3 billion of repurchases and dividends. And I see us as we get into 2015. Once again, deploying our strong cash flow towards some of it to return capital. Next year or this year, we should generate about $2.5 billion of free cash flow. So lots of opportunities to create shareholder value.
It's been a remarkably just quintessential great growth story. And I think when I look at it, it will be much better to own than a lot of the pharmaceutical companies for those who want a health care play. So I want to congratulate you. That acquisition was so brilliant. I was just so glad you guys did it. That's Marc Casper. He's the president and CEO of Thermo Fisher Scientific, TMO, and I think it's going not higher, but much higher. Stay with Cramer.